Hi there, this is Jonathan Ginsberg, and I want to talk to you about a common question I get from my Chapter 13 clients, and that is, why am I going to them after the case has been filed before confirmation? And confirmation is the approval of the Chapter 13 case by the judge. Why is it typically that I'm going to my clients and saying, look, we're going to have to increase our trustee payment to satisfy objections by the trustee by creditors? Why do we have to increase the payment? Well, the reason for that is, and this is again something I will talk to you about if you're my client going in, I like to go in aggressively. I think that if we're going into Chapter 13, let's go with the lowest possible payment. Chapter 13 is difficult. You're looking at putting together a budget that's supposed to last 5 years. So let's go in as aggressively as possible. Let's go with the most, the worst case scenario in the budget, with the idea that we may have to increase our plan payment down the road. Because the trustee might object to the budget. They may say that there's some of the things we've got in our budget, there's too much money allocated for them, or the claims come in higher than expected. That's fairly typical. But I'd say in 80% of the Chapter 13 cases I file, that the initial plan payment I come up with, let's say it's $500 a month, that by the time all is said and done, we may be at $600 a month. We may be at $550, at $650, something like that. So the reason why you're going to have to increase your plan payment is we're going to have to get through a gauntlet of trustee objections, of creditor objections, of simple math. We've got 5 years to make this all work, and again, claims come in higher than expected. But again, I would rather go in aggressive. I'd rather go in a little bit low and then increase it. It's much more difficult to go from a higher payment to a lower payment. A lot easier to go from a lower payment to a higher payment. So what I would tell you is that when we file your bankruptcy, we file your Chapter 13, you should probably assume that we're going to have to increase it a little bit. If we don't, and you're in that small percentage of cases we don't have to increase it, then our aggressive approach was beneficial. If you do have to increase it, that's just the cost of doing business. That's just something we're going to have to do. And again, this shouldn't be a surprise to you because I'll talk to you about it, but I just want you to understand the reason why. And that's because I'm going in aggressively with the idea that I want to keep that payment as low as possible so that you have the best chance of making it work. For whatever reason, trustees and the creditors, they want to see the highest possible payment. And of course, I'm going with the lowest possible payment, and we want to meet someplace in the middle. And again, I want the payment, we need to propose something in good faith, but that's going to be a range. And I want you to have the most disposable money you possibly can every month so that, again, this Chapter 13 is going to work for you, it's livable, and it's something that gives you the most benefit, again, with the least amount of pain. So I hope that explains why I go in low and why you're probably going to have to increase that payment down the road, and what you should understand about the process of negotiating to get your Chapter 13 in a confirmable posture. Hope this has been helpful. Again, I'm Jonathan Ginsberg. Any questions, please let me know.